The GuliKit ES Pro featured in today's review is provided courtesy of GuliKit. The base GuliKit ES is the best budget controller I have ever used, with impressive build quality and performance that rivals controllers 10 times its $25 asking price. While bare bones with its extra features, it is a controller I can easily recommend to PC and Switch players. But to further saturate the excellent value for the price controller segment, GuliKit has also released the ES Pro, a $30 controller that comes with significant upgrades over the base ES controller. Do these changes justify the added $5 expense? Definitely. The GuliKit ES Pro comes in a minimalist box with the controller and branding prominently displayed on the front. The side features specifications, while the back outlines key features of the controller. Opening the box, you'll find your ES Pro in your selected color, a USB charging cable, and a user's guide. The GuliKit ES Pro resembles an Xbox Series controller in most respects. Its face buttons, D-pad, and offset sticks all retain that familiar layout. Grips feel similar with nice texturing and comfortable handling, even during extended play sessions. The ES Pro is thinner in the middle thanks to its included rechargeable battery. It loses that cohesion with the inclusion of Switch-style plus, minus, home, and share buttons. Shoulder buttons and triggers also use Switch naming conventions. Sync and programming buttons are also found on the front of the pad, with a mode switch and power button located on the back. Face buttons have excellent throw ranges and a satisfying press. They aren't loud, and they have had no issues with sticking. The D-pad is practically identical to a Series controller in both looks and feel. It has a nice clack when pressed, and it has nice rollability. Shoulder buttons are okay, but I do wish they felt a bit more springy when releasing them to help the overall feel when doing repeated presses. Triggers have a rounded build with good grip texturing on them. They have lower resistance than my typical preference, but it still falls within acceptable margins. The lack of padding sadly makes them a bit louder than the rest of the controller, making them seem cheaper than they actually are. Sticks for the ES Pro make use of high-resolution TMR sticks to ensure drift-free gaming with great longevity. Stick resistance feels equivalent to the Xbox Series and DualSense controllers, so they should feel familiar as you begin to play. The housing around each also features an anti-friction ring, making rotations feel incredibly smooth. The grip on each thumb cap works well to ensure no slips during play. The transparent blue color scheme under the black caps is also really cool to look at. Like the ES Pro features a solid build with sturdy plastic that can withstand everyday wear and tear without breaking a sweat. Even taking an accidental hit from my soldering iron while working on another project barely fazed it. It is a light controller, but thankfully this doesn't make it feel cheap, as happens with many third-party pads. The subtle background design is also pleasing and not overbearing. Pairing the ES Pro to PC, Switch, Switch 2, and mobile devices is very easy and will have you up and running quickly in either wired or wireless modes. Wired mode for the ES Pro boasts incredible numbers with the pad's PC mode, coming in with a polling rate of 1000 Hz and an average latency of only 1 millisecond, making it perfect for competitive games running at high frame rates. Wired Switch mode fares quite a bit worse with a 125 Hz polling rate and an average latency of 8 milliseconds. It is still better than an original Switch Pro controller, but it is a mode that should be reserved for charging only. Bluetooth use on Switch sees more impressive results with an average polling rate of around 530 Hz and an input latency of 2 milliseconds. PC Bluetooth mode likewise boasts incredible numbers with an average polling rate around 700 Hz and latency of 1.5 milliseconds. Mobile users will want to use the PC option for the best experience. Regardless of title, the ES Pro feels incredibly responsive whether wired or using Bluetooth connections. Buttons respond promptly and are easy to mash when needed. I appreciate the inclusion of built-in turbo functionality, as mashing doesn't always feel great to me these days. Turbo can be assigned to each face button, right shoulder, and right trigger. Left shoulder and left trigger lose out on this functionality for a motion aiming macro I will cover in a bit. Held inputs are no issue, and not once during my testing have I encountered any drops. Shoulder buttons likewise work well, but again the lack of spring upon releasing them makes repeated presses take more effort than other controllers. Triggers are fantastic with excellent ranges. They use Hall effect sensors and provide excellent accuracy. Holding specific locations along a pole is a breeze, and quick pulls are no problem. Single-shot weapons and shooters can really showcase your pull speed. D-pad usage does feel identical to using an Xbox Series controller to me. It works well in retro gaming compilations and emulation with no misreads, even during quick back-and-forth motions. Nintendo Switch apps greatly benefit from the ES Pro's responsiveness in this regard. With an included macro, you can change the D-pad from 8-way to 4-way input to give it better precision on cardinally focused gameplay. For fans of fighters, I have found it works fine for pulling off specials in Street Fighter 6, but again, if you dislike Xbox Series D-pads for this genre, this is basically the same experience. Hitting diagonals in Tony Hawk also proves to be no issue. Sticks are incredible performers on the ES Pro. They offer amazing precision and default ranges mimic Xbox Series pads, giving them a familiar feel. With a macro, you can activate larger ranges that work great for older games that expect expanded diagonals. You can also reduce the ranges down to 50%, which can come in handy for more precise input moments. For fans of motion aiming, the ES Pro includes a macro to use its built-in motion controls on unsupported games using the left shoulder or left trigger to activate the function. It works well, but only while using the right stick for aiming, which makes it useless for my southpaw tendencies. If at any time you feel that your sticks feel off, the ES Pro has a calibration macro that will get things fixed up. Switch and Switch 2 usage feel very similar overall with all the games I have tested. The ES Pro feels far more responsive than standard Pro controllers, and the sticks are once again a highlight for their precision. Motion controls work well on the system, and I have found no issues using them. The built-in motion aiming macro also works on Switch for any titles that don't happen to have native motion support. Buttons take on the standard Nintendo layout when in Switch mode, so they won't line up with the physical labels. You can swap them with a macro or using the Switch's built-in remapping tools if desired. GuliKit is going to sell separate Switch button packs for you to swap in for proper labels in the future. For Switch 2 users, the ES Pro also has system wake support, ensuring your experience while using it is seamless. Unfortunately, NFC is not supported for amiibo use. For fans of the N64 and GameCube NSO apps, the ES Pro does not exhibit any rumble bugs that can occur while using them. Rumble packs a good punch, and its strength can be adjusted on the fly to raise or lower it as you prefer. With the built-in 950 mAh battery, you can get around 25 to 30 hours of play depending on your rumble settings. Charging the ES Pro is pretty standard and again does work while wired. The GuliKit logo works well to let you know when you have achieved a full charge. For my use cases, I have no complaints about the GuliKit ES Pro's performance. But as this is being marketed as a low-cost competitive controller, it is missing a few features that some players will be looking for, such as rear programmable buttons. The lack of these buttons is a puzzling one for a competitive pad. Trigger locks are also missing for achieving the fastest pulls possible. The fact that it uses a blend of Xbox and Nintendo styling is also a bit annoying, as anyone who wants the proper button labels for Switch is going to have to shell out more cash to get them. Costing only $5 more than the standard ES pad, the ES Pro is the better fit for more competitive gamers looking for the added precision of TMR sticks and PC motion aiming support. Being able to adjust ranges for different scenarios is also great. Otherwise, both the ES and ES Pro offer some of the fastest wireless performance of any controller out there for solid gameplay at a steal of a deal. Thank you for making it to the end of today's review on the GuliKit ES Pro. I cannot stress enough just how awesome these controllers are for their price point. $30 for this guy gives you a lot of cool features, and it is just such a solid performer. I'm honestly was not expecting this when these showed up on my desk. Like, these two controllers, the ES and ES Pro, have really blown me away with their value proposition and what they really bring to the table. Just fantastic controllers for anyone that plays on PC and Switch. But a big thank you to GuliKit for sending these out my way to check out. They have been an absolute blast, and honestly, I could see myself buying 2 more just to get a full 4 for Switch and PC stuff as needed. And if you're interested in picking one up, I have links in the comment section below to the ES Pro and a link to my ES review if you'd like to check that one out as well. But here at the end, just the usual favors to ask if you haven't already. Thumbs up, thumbs down, depending on how much you like this video, as well as hitting that sub button and notification bell so you can see when new videos go live on the channel, as there's always more coming your way. And for anyone interested in further helping support the channel, please check out those links to these controllers, as the affiliate links really do help me out. Or you can hit that join button here on YouTube, or the Patreon link in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, as every little bit does make a huge difference. Big thank you to all of our current backers, couldn't do it without you, just thank you for believing in us, and yeah. Anyway, until next time, my wonderful internet peeps, you all stay awesome, keep on gaming, and we'll see you back next video.